What's going on, everybody? Suzanne Vega, Solitude Standing, the title track. Up next, and it looks like everybody wrote this. Look at that. Wow. Whole band is in on it. Second of 3 songs by Vega to crack the top 100. Wrote Solitude Standing in collaboration with a backing band as opposed to previous works which were written alone. Lyrically, the song personifies Solitude as a woman whom Vega described as a third character in a relationship. Okay. All right. Alt pop. All right, let's get to it. Solitude Standing. Bam. Metronome. Just sounds like a metronome.
Solitude stands by the window. She turns her head as I walk in the room. I can see by her eyes she's been waiting, standing in the slant of a late afternoon, and she turns to me with her hand extended, her palm is split with a flower with a flame.
Cool. This is a cool track so far.
Solitude stands in the doorway. I'm struck once again by her black silhouette, by her long cool stare and her silence. I suddenly remember each time we've met, and she turns to me with her hand extended, her palm is split with a flower with a flame.
I like that keys part. Yeah, it's just this like big, open, solid beat, right? Intro was cool, rhythmically, right?
She says I've come to set a twisted thing straight, and she says I've come to
that guitar over there, that's nice.
She takes my wrist, I feel her imprint of fear, and I said I never thought of finding you here, and I turn to the crowd as they're watching. They're sitting all together in the dark, in the warm, and I wanted to be in there among them. I see how their eyes are gathered into one, and she turns to me with her hand extended, her palm is split with a flower with a flame. She says I've come to set a twisted thing straight, and she says I've come to lighten this dark heart, and she takes my wrist, I feel her imprint of fear, and I said I never thought of finding you here. Solitude stands in the doorway. I'm struck once again by her black silhouette, by her long cool stare and her silence. I suddenly remember each time we've met, and she turns to me with her hand extended, her palm is split with a flower with a flame.
This is an interesting track to me. I like this one. Yeah. It's interesting she got the musicians in on it, right? to like help write it. So what they do, they just like came up with their own parts or something. Like they came up with the harmony stuff, like where things were changing or something. Yeah, I like the intro. I like the whole song. This whole song is very interesting to me. It's cool. Yeah, I like that keyboard part. Interesting little guitar parts in there. Yeah, it's a cool vibe. I like this one. This one's very cool. Yeah, I really like this one. Wow, this guy did films. Wow. Wow, he like just got into it. Composer, orchestrator, producer born in New York City. He's been writing music for film since 91. Prominent production credits, including producing and writing with SUZANNE Vega on Solitude, Standing, Days of Open Hand. That's the next album. Producing and writing on Jim Carroll's last album, Pools of Mercury. So he did some production and writing stuff a little bit, and then he just went into freaking movies. Many TV series and documentaries, notably the score for Big Love, Masters of all these things I'm not going to know. Okay, National Geographic. Lives in LA, of course, doing this type of work. Very cool. Wow. Yeah, all kinds. That's cool. That's very cool. Dig it. I like this track. This is a very interesting track. All the stuff that's happening, just musically, that's what it is for me on this track. It's like musically what's happening, how they're like, kind of like the first album. The first album, there was a lot more of that. I felt like where I liked how the production and the arrangement kind of backed her, right? Because obviously it's all about her and her voice and her words and getting that out, right? That's like the thing, right? That's the focal point. The backdrop, the instrumentation, the arrangement, all that, that's just like the painting behind it, right? Behind the focal point. For the most part, I think that they do a good job on frankly all of these tracks. Some of them are more interesting to me than others, right? Like Luka is not interesting to me at all. I think that that's musically and all that is, I just don't like that song, right? Like, okay, the topic, but also just musically, it's not interesting. It's the least, so far, it's the least interesting track on this whole album. Like, period. Forget the what the song is about. Right? Forget what the song is about. It's the least interesting track on this whole album musically, in my opinion. So everything else is more interesting. Yeah. Single sucks. Okay. This is a really cool one, though. This is definitely cool. This is up there with In the Eye for me, for sure. Yeah, very cool. All right. Calypso is up next, going through this second half of the album. All right. I'll catch you then later.